Hi children and viewers. In previous class we discussed about the making of solar cooker and other properties of mirrors. In this video I am going to explain about the chemical reactions and chemical equation. What is mean by chemical reaction and what is mean by chemical equations, and what is the importance of chemical equation. Is there any necessity of balancing of a chemical equation? So children, so today's our topic is chemical equations and reactions and balancing of chemical equations. Children, so don't forget that. So you must like and subscribe and share my videos, subscribe my channel. So now we are going to the topic. So here today's our topic is chemical reactions and equations. So in that, the first thing I hope that you must be having some idea about the physical change, chemical properties and physical properties. So here what is mean by physical change of a substance and what is mean by chemical change of the substance. So physical change of substance means there is no change in composition of the substance, only the size, color, smell, density will be changes. Physical change means there is no particular change in composition of the substance, only properties like color, size, smell and density will be changes. In case of a chemical change, what you know, one substance should be changed into the completely another. Chemical changes, that means here the composition of the elements which are in the compound should be changed. Properties is completely different from previous one. That is the chemical change and physical change. Got my point, children? So here what is the chemical reaction and what is the chemical equation? So for example here we are taking now here a general equation. A plus B gives rise to some x plus y. A plus B gives rise x plus y. Chemical reactions means it is the process. Chemical reaction is the process. In that process, substances must be their composition and completely changes into the another new substances with new properties. That is the chemical reaction. Substances must be changes into the other, completely different from previous one. Clear? So here chemical equation means the equation that can be used to explain the chemical reaction process. That is the chemical equation. Chemical reaction means the process in which the substances are completely going to be changed into the new substances with new properties by changing their compositions. That is the chemical reaction. The chemical reaction should be shown by with some equation, that is the chemical equation. That means a chemical equation must be represents which type of substances are going to be participate in the reaction and with their composition, how much their ratio is there, and after the reaction how they are becoming, how they are formed and what are the properties of them. So that is the chemical equation. For example here now I wrote some equation here. A plus B gives rise some x plus y. So general equation for chemical equation now it is chemical equation. In a chemical equation, so it is the arrow mark that should be leads to the chemical reaction. Arrow gives rise, we can say generally. So here for this arrow mark, A plus B is on LHS side and x plus y is on RHS. In a chemical reaction, in a chemical equation, how we can identify that which substances are going to be participate and which are formed. Very important topic, children. Don't need to confuse. Be careful while you are listening and watching. So here what I am telling, it is a chemical equation. In a chemical equation, how we can identify which substances are going to be participate in the reaction and which are formed. Here this arrow mark takes place. Here that arrow mark represents the some chemical reaction is going on. Clear? And for that chemical reaction, for that arrow mark symbol on LHS, what you have? A and B. While A and B are combined together, react together, what we are getting? X and Y. Here A plus B gives rise to X plus Y. A and B are combined together. By combining them, we are getting some chemical reaction. Due to chemical reaction, X and Y are formed. X and Y are formed. In that chemical equation on LHS, we have A and B are there. When A and B are combined, together, they react each other. That means here A and B are going to participate in the reaction. That's why here A and B are called reactants. What we call? A and B are called reactants. Got, children? So due to the reaction of A and B, they are reacted together, combined together, and they form some new things, new substances. They are X and Y. X and Y. So in the chemical equation, so this is side is LHS. For arrow mark, just you have to stand in front of the chemical reaction here now. This is what? LHS side, and this is what? RHS side. On LHS side, what we have? Reactants. What we have? Reactants. On RHS side, what we have? This is the RHS side. These are products. So you must remember this one. In a equation, how we can identify the reactants and how we can identify the products. That's the first thing. In a chemical reaction, to the arrow mark on the left side, what you have? Reactants. Reactants means which are the substances or the compounds which are going to participate in the reactions. That should be called reactants. Clear? And for the arrow mark on right side, what you have? Due to the reaction, we are getting some X and Y. X and Y. So here X and Y are called products. X and Y are called products. So here this is the information about the chemical equation. In this chapter you may learn types of reactions and what is mean by chemical combination, chemical decomposition, what is thermal decomposition, and what is the thermite process. So we have a lot of equation types of reactions are there. So simply first, before to know about all of them, just have to remind the equation should be like this. So here C plus O2 gives rise to, for example, here now here I am right now C plus O2 gives rise CO2. This is the equation what you have. C plus O2 gives rise CO2. We can compare the given equation with the general equation. In general equation what you have? A plus B gives rise to X plus Y, and A and B are on the LHS of equation. That's why they should be treated as the reactants, and X and Y are RHS of the arrow mark. That's why they can be treated as the products. So now we have to compare them. What are these two? Reactants. And what are these two? Products. So now we have one more equation here now. C plus O2 gives rise to CO2. Carbon, when carbon is reacts with the oxygen, what do you get? Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. That's why here C plus O2 gives rise to CO2. So in that equation, what is C and what is O2 and what is CO2? So here C plus O2 gives rise CO2. Clear children? So here carbon, oxygen molecule, and combined with here what? CO2 we are getting, carbon dioxide. That means in this equation, this carbon and this one oxygen both are here what we take? Reactants. So due to the reaction, we are getting some CO2, carbon dioxide. So that should be, we have some representation also like this here. In upward mark, what we write? Some gases. So in this way, we can identify that in a chemical equation, which are the reactants and which are the products. Got children? So here, now I am going to explain about the balancing of a chemical equation. Balancing of a chemical equation. Balancing of a chemical equation. Children, no need to confuse. Simply I am telling briefly. Physical change means there is no change in its composition of the substance. Only the color, smell, size, density should be like some properties are there. They only change. But in case of a chemical change, one substance should be directly going changes into the completely new substance. So here the chemical equation can represent the how many substances are going to be participate in the reaction and how many are forming in the reaction. That should be explained in a chemical equation. In a chemical equation, on LHS side we have reactants, on RHS what do you have? Products. Don't forget that. So here, for example, here now I wrote some like this. H2 plus O2 gives rise H2O. It is the one equation. H2 plus O2 gives rise H2O. Hydrogen molecule is combined with the oxygen molecule. What do we get? Some water molecule we will get. So in this example, H2 plus O2 gives us H2O. H2 and O2. H2 and O2. This is the arrow mark. For that arrow mark, let's just what you have H2 and O2. That's why this H2 and O2 are called reactants. On RHS side, what do you have? H2O. LHS side we have H2 and O2. On RHS side, what do you have? H2O. So here, what do you have to say? These two are reactants and this is the product. Now here that reaction should be balanced or not. Balanced or not. How we can check them? What is mean by balanced equation? What is mean by balanced equation? What is the necessity of balanced equation? So here in our mathematics, in some sums, we may prove that LHS is equals to RHS. Some function will be there. By taking that, after doing some calculations, we can prove that RHS value should be equals to the LHS value. So in physics also the law of conservation of energy. Energy neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can change from one form to the another form like that. Like the same only here in chemistry also we have some formula is there. Law of conservation of mass. Here in a chemical reaction or in a chemical equation, the number of atoms which are in the substance in reactant side should be equals to the same in products also. The number of atoms which are in the reactant side should be equals to the same number of atoms in the products. Then only the equation is said to be balanced. Otherwise it do not balance the equation. Clear? So here we have some law of conservation of mass formula is there. The atoms neither be created nor be destroyed. The atoms neither be created nor be destroyed, but the number of atoms which are in the substances in the reactant side should be equal to the product side. The atoms may be displaced from one substance to the another substance or one compound to the another compound, but According to law of conservation of mass, the mass, according to children, according to law of conservation of mass, the atoms neither be created nor be destroyed, but they can displace from one substance to the another substance. But finally, the number of elements which are in the reactant side should be equal to the product sides. This is what we say generally, law of conservation of mass. According to the law of conservation of mass and according to the law of conservation of constant proportions. Constant proportion. Here constant proportion means here, so here H2O, to form the one water molecule, what is the proportion here? 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. By combining them two only, we are getting some water molecule. So you don't change here subscripts. What we have, what is meant by subscript there? Subscript number means that is the number of atoms. Number of atoms. So in that number of atoms, we directly don't change that, because according to law of constant proportions, we never change that, because in that compound their proportions must be constant. HCO2, CO2, in that one carbon is there, 2 oxygen atoms there, then only it is CO2. So you have no right to change them. Clear? Because when their proportionality changes, the constituents must be having some constant ratio. H2O, in that hydrogen oxygen ratio is what? 2:1. 2:1. So like that. So according to the law of constant proportions and according to the law of conservation of mass, we are going to balance a chemical equation. That is the importance. What is the necessity for balancing a chemical equation? Means to obey the laws of conservation of mass and simply law of constant of proportions. So to obey these two, we have to balance a chemical equation. That is the necessity. Clear? So in a balanced equation, the number of elements or the number of atoms which are in the reactant side should be equal to the which are in the product side. So here this is about the balanced chemical equation. Now what are the rules and what are the steps to balance a chemical equation? So for example here, now let us check, we have here one equation is balanced or not here. Here H2 plus O2 gives rise H2O. H2 plus O2 gives rise H2O. Here count how many. Before going to that, you have to notice that here we are having some H and H2. What is the difference here? It is the atom and it is the molecule. It is the molecule. So here there is no subscript. Children, clear? There is no subscript written for the hydrogen. That means we are not writing anything, means there is 1. So it is 1 hydrogen atom, 1 hydrogen atom. And now here H2, here how many atoms there? Here 2 hydrogen atoms. That's why if there is no subscript for the element symbol, then we have to consider that is the 1 atom. Now here I am writing S, sulfur 1 atom, S8, it is sulfur molecule. It consists of how many atoms? 8 atoms. So during the balancing the chemical equation, we never change their subscripts. Clear, children? So here first we have to check, there is one equation is here, H2 plus O2 gives rise H2O. H2 plus O2 gives rise H2O. Hydrogen, oxygen, and what do you get? Hydrogen molecule. Here, so oxygen, water molecule. Here H2 plus O2 gives us H2O. Here how many hydrogen atoms there? Here 2. Here 2. Here oxygen how many there? 2. Here 1. That's why here in this equation, according to law of conservation of mass, the number of atoms which are in the reactant side and product side must be equal. So that's why here in this case LH is what you have 2 oxygens there, but here only 1. That's why it is unbalanced equation, not balanced equation. So here in balancing a chemical equation, there are some few steps are there. So first thing is here step 1. Balancing of chemical equation. Chemical equation. So now here in that step 1, first we have to write the chemical reaction equation with correct chemical formulas. This is the first step. What is the first step? We have to write the chemical reaction equation with correct chemical formulas. So here we have one statement is there. When hydrogen is combined with the oxygen, we are adding some water molecule. That is the statement. Clear? When hydrogen is combined, one hydrogen molecule is combined with the one oxygen molecule, then we will get one water molecule. That is the statement. Hydrogen reacts with the oxygen, we are adding some water molecule. That is the statement. So for that we are adding step 1. Now here hydrogen is reacting with the oxygen, then what do you get? Water molecule. This is the step 1. Step 1 is what? For the given reaction, we have to write the chemical equation with the suitable and correct chemical formulas. That's the first one. Here what do we have? Condition is there. When hydrogen reacts with the oxygen, we are adding some water molecule. That is the given reaction. For that, we wrote some here equation. That is the first thing. And now, second step. So we have to count, or we have to check the equation is balanced or not. Equation is balanced or not. We have to check the equation is balanced or not. So for that we have to check number of elements on both sides. Number of elements. So for example here now, this is second step. So element, here element I am writing, and this is the LHS side. LHS means what? Reactants. This is the RHS side. That is RHS means what? Products. Element, LHS side means reactants, RHS means product. So first we go for, I am going for now here hydrogen, first one. How many hydrogens are reactants LHS side? 2. Clear? And now on RHS side how many there? H2. That's why 2 here. Next, second thing is oxygen. How many oxygens there LHS side? 2. Here there is no subscript, means what it is? 1. 2, 1. So now we have to write given equation is unbalanced equation. Unbalanced equation. This is the first statement. Step 1 is we are writing the chemical reaction with the suitable molecular formulas. Step 2 is what? We have to check that the equation is balanced or not. For that we have to make one table and we have to count the each elements on LHS side and RHS side. And now third one, step 3, balancing of equation. Balancing of equation. Balancing of equation by taking suitable constants. So here, look here now, H2 plus O2 gives us H2O. To do that, simply here balancing of the equation, I am balancing like this: H2O plus O2 gives rise H2O. Here we have to balance the oxygen. That's why here I am writing now 2H2O. 2H2O. Here the constant number what we are writing as the preceding number of H2O coefficient. What the number what we are writing coefficient of in the compound, that should belongs to both hydrogen and oxygen. That's why here H2 plus O2 gives rise to H2O. 2H2O. The constant what we are taken, the coefficient what we are taken, that should be written in front of the compound H2O. Then the 2 belongs to here H2 and O. Again now we have to check whether equation is balanced or not. Here how many hydrogens there? 2. And here how many oxygens there? 2. Here now how many hydrogens there? 2 into 2. 2 into 2. Here 4 hydrogens there. Here how many there? 2 into 1. Here H2, already 2 is there. Here now we are having some 2. In front of hydrogen what you have? 2. Then you have to take that is 2 into 2. Already 2 hydrogens there. We are multiplying with 2 again. Then what you get? 4. And here oxygen we have 1. Then 2 into 1, 2. That means here in this case we have 4 hydrogens. Here 2 oxygens. So now oxygen is balanced. Oxygen is balanced. But again there is some variation in hydrogen, because here 2 into 2, here 4, here only 2. So to balance that, again I am writing now here one coefficient for here H2 plus O2 gives rise to H2O. Clear? Look here, first thing is what you have this equation H2 plus O2 gives rise to H2O. Up to very clear. So after that we are going to for balance that. So here there is some balance. Now I want to make the oxygen atoms on both sides should be equal. First, that is I was taken decision like that. So here we have to follow the first one. Here we have to balance the oxygen on both sides should be same. That's why here I am writing the one coefficient like this 2H2O. Then 2 into 1 oxygen 2. That's why here 2 into 1 means 2. 2 oxygens are there. Here oxygen 2 is there. So oxygen is balanced. But during that process we increase the hydrogens from 2 to 4. How? 2H2. 2 into 2 means 4. That's why the hydrogen value should be increased. Again to equal the hydrogen on both sides, again I am writing here 2 into H2 plus O2 gives rise to H2O. That's why here now just we have to check here 2 into 2, 4. Here how many there? 4. Here 2 oxygens there. Here 2 into 1, 2. Here 2 into 2, 4. 4 hydrogens are there. Here 4 there. Here 2 oxygen atoms are there. Here also there. That's why it is now equation number is balanced. So that is the step 3. And now we have step 4 it is there. Step 4. That means in the balanced equation, is there any common factor? Is there any common factor? That means the constant coefficients what we wrote, if they have any common factor, then we have to divide all of them with the same common factor on both sides. So in this case there is no common factor. Here 2 is there, here 1 is there, here 2 is there. That's why it is not possible. When the coefficients are very very high, we have to minimize them to reduce the very minimum level. For that purpose only we have to divide all the compounds by equal number on both sides. This is the 4th step. What is step 4? Step 4 is what it is? We have to, if for example if the coefficients are very very high in the equation, in that equation If there is any common factor, then we have to divide the entire chemical equation on both sides with the same common factor. So it's possible only in some cases only. In this case, no common factor. That's why here no need to follow the here step 4. And finally, step 5. What is step 5 here again? Again we have to check the number of elements are same or not on both sides. Here now I am going for step 5 here. Step 5. So what is the balanced equation? 2H2 plus O2 gives rise 2H2O. So here step 5 is what? Again we have to check the number of elements are both are on same side are equal or not. Look here now, again element LHS and RHS. Again we have to draw like this. While we are learning the balancing of chemical equations first, so you go for this method only, then it becomes very easy to you. Clear? Now here first thing I am writing here, hydrogen. How many there on LHS side? 2 into 2, 4. And on LHS side, 4. Here again oxygen, how many there? 2. Here 2. So after balancing the equation, again you have to check whether the equation is balanced or not by comparing the elements on LHS side and RHS side. So this is the children. So by comparing that, if you are getting the same thing, then the balanced equation is what you did, what you done, that should be true, or it is the correct, otherwise it is again wrong. So after getting the same things here, simply go for, you have to write hence the equation is balanced. Equation is balanced. So this is about the balancing of a chemical equation. So we will go for next another example here. We have another example I want to give. S8. First thing is, what is the given statement, children? There are 5 steps involved in balancing a chemical equation. 5 steps. The first thing is what? We have to write the chemical equation or chemical reaction in form of the chemical equation with a proper and correct molecular formulas or chemical formulas. We have to write the given reaction in the form of chemical equation with correct chemical formulas. The first one. Second is what? Step 2. We have to check whether the equation is balanced or not. That is the second step. So how we can compare them? We have to make the one table, element LHS and RHS. We have to compare the how many elements in the reactant side and how many number of elements in the RHS for the same element. So if they are not equal, now it is a balanced equation. For example here, C plus O2 gives rise CO2. Tell me here, this is balanced equation or not? C1, C1, oxygen 2, oxygen 2. So it is already balanced equation. So there is no need for go for further steps. Simply have to write it is the balanced equation. So step 1, step 2 enough. Clear? And now step 3 is what? Balancing of equation, balancing of the chemical equation by writing the suitable constant coefficients for the compounds. By writing the constant coefficients in front of the chemical compounds, we have to balance the equation. That is the third step. And what is the fourth step? After balancing the chemical equation, you have to check in the reactants and products, is there any common factor? If there is any common factor, then we go for minimizing process. We have to reduce the coefficients up to minimum level. That is the fourth step. After fourth step is what? After balancing the chemical equation, we have to reduce the coefficient to their minimum level. If there is no common factor, then no need to go for step 4. No need to do minimize. And what is step 5? Again we have to check the number of elements of particular element on both sides equal or not. This is another step. So here final step, that is after that if we can get equal, then how to write? Equation is balanced. Clear? So now another example is there. So first statement, step 1 is he was given, what is that? Sulfur reacts with the oxygen, we get sulfur dioxide. The reaction will be like this. When sulfur reacts with the sulfur dioxide, we are getting some sulfur dioxide. So for that I am writing here S8 plus O2 gives rise SO2. Sulfur molecule is combined with the oxygen, we are getting some sulfur dioxide. That is the reaction given. That's why by using the suitable formulas I am writing the equation number like this. S8 plus O2 gives rise SO2. This is the equation number 1 and that should belongs to step 1. So now here step 2 is what? We have to check the equation is balanced or not. For that we have to draw the table. So element LHS and RHS. So element is what here on the side, left side what you have? Reactant side, sulfur is the first one. LHS means nothing but here reactants. You instead of write LHS also you have write reactants. Here now products. Clear? So S8, sulfur how many here? S8. Here how many there? 1. Clear? Oxygen how many here? Oxygen how many there? 2. Here also 2. Tell me, the equation is balanced or not? It's not balanced. It's not balanced. So here what you have to balance? Sulfur now. Clear? So that's why here step 3 it is given equation is unbalanced. Given step 2 is what? Given equation is not balanced. We have to write not balanced equation. Clear children? And now third one. Step 3 is what? Balance the equation. We have to balance the equation. So again I am writing here S8 plus O2 gives rise SO2. Now I want to balance the here sulfur first because that is only here it is there S8 plus O2 gives rise. To balance that I am writing now here 8SO2. I am repeating same thing. Here we have no right to change the subscripts. So for example here here how many there? S8 S1. So here to balance that, here if you can write like this S8O2. S8O2. So here if you can write like this, it is the wrong. During the balancing of equation you never change the subscripts, because if you can change the subscripts the entire compound should be changes. That's why you have to write the coefficient only, no need to go for write subscripts. That's why, because most of the students must be do the mistake here only. They want their aim is to wants to equal the elements only, but they never think about whether it is right or wrong. So that's why here, so to avoid that mistake we have to write the coefficients only here SO2. So I am writing here giving that 8. Here for example SO2 is there. While we are multiplying with the 8 SO2, then SR8 OR16. If we can again divide with 8, what we get? SO2 only. There is no change in the compound. Clear? While we are writing the coefficients, there is no change in substances or compounds, because this is example 8SO2 we wrote. If you can multiply with 8, we are getting 8SO2. If you can again divide with the 8, again what you get? SO2 only. That's why here by writing the coefficients for the compounds, there is no change in the composition of the compounds. You have to notice that first. Clear? So here now 8SO2, again we have to check, sulfur is now balanced, but what changes occurred while we are writing SO2 8 means here this 8 belongs to S and O2 also, that's why here S1 into 8, here now 2 into 8 16, so that's why here oxygen is now here 16, here 2. So again to balance that, S8 plus 8O2 gives rise 8SO2. S8 plus 8O2 gives rise 8SO2. Clear? So S8 plus 8O2 gives rise to 8SO2. Now we have to check how many sulfur there here, 8. Here also 8. Here how many oxygen here, 16. Here also 16. That's why the equation is balanced now. Equation is balanced. Clear? Now we go for the any common factor. Here 1 is there, here 8 is there, here 8 is there. So here there is no common factor. That's why here no need to go for minimize the reduce to the minimum level. That's why here we are not implementing the step 4. Clear children? So here now again that is. So step 4 is not there. Now we go for again step 5. What is that again? Final comparison of elements on both sides. On both sides. So again you have to keep the box like this. So here again this box I am using now here. This is a step 2, or again I want to try. Here again after balancing again we have to check element, LHS and RHS. Element is what here? S. How many there here? How many there? 8. Here also 8. And how many oxygen there here? 16. Here also 16. That's why here what you have to say, equation is balanced. This is the second example. Children, I hope you all of you understand. Even though that I am going to do one more example for you. So very important topic children, very examination point of view it is very important, and throughout your learning of chemistry everywhere you must be need to combine the balance the chemical equation. That's why it is a very heart of the chemistry, chemical equations. So balancing of chemical equation is very crucial for your lifetime. Clear? So that's why you must learn how we can balance a chemical equation. Got children? So I am going to the another one. Next thing is here we have to balance the equation should be like this. Another model, NaOH plus H2SO4 gives rise Na2SO4 plus H2O. And sometimes he may give reaction. For that we have to write the chemical equation with the proper or correct compounds of or correct chemical formulas. Clear? But in this time he only gave. He gave what is was given, direct chemical reaction was given. That's why this only step 1. Clear? NaOH, sodium hydroxide reacts with the sulfuric acid, then what do you get? Sodium sulfate and water we will get. So this is step 1. Clear children? So here what is step 2? We have to check the elements are same or not on both sides. So for that, so I am drawing the table here now. Element, again I am telling you LHS means what? Reactant side. RHS means what? Product side. So here first element I am doing here Na, sodium. How many there here? 1. How many here? What is here? 2. Next I am going for SO4. SO4 sulfate. I am treating as it is 1. Clear? Then how many here? SO4. S1 oxygen 4 sulfate. So it is 1 and here also 1. Clear? Next hydrogen we have to check. How many hydrogen is there? Hydrogen 1, 2, 3. And here how many there? 2. and oxygens. How many here? 1. Here 1. Check it again. In NaOH, first we are taking first element Na. How many there? 1. Here how many there? 2. Next SO4 we are taking SO4 1 here. Clear. Next thing is what? Hydrogen. Here 1, here 2, 3, here 2. So here now oxygen 1. So now here Na is not balanced, hydrogen is not balanced. So we have to balance now here sodium elements and hydrogen elements. So that's why here what you have to write in step 2, given equation is unbalanced equation. What is that? Unbalanced equation. This is the step 2. And now third one is what? Balancing of the equation. Balancing of the equation. So I am going to do that. NaOH plus H2SO4 use as Na2SO4 plus H2O. Clear? So here how many there? Sodium here 2 there. That's why here I am writing now here 2NaOH plus H2SO4 gives rise Na2SO4 and H2O. Now we have to check sodium is balanced or not. 2Na S balanced. Sodium is balanced now. So by writing the coefficient 2, is there any change in remaining elements? We have to check. Here now 2Na, 2 oxygen, 2 hydrogens. So I mean by writing the 2, here Na is balanced but oxygen is 2 now, here becomes 2, here 2. Dear children, now we have to check how many oxygens here and how many oxygen this side. You have to check that. So here got to this point, children. After writing 2, Na is balanced but oxygen and hydrogen should be varies. So here check how many oxygens here. 1 now, 2, here is 1. Clear? And check here how many hydrogens now here. 2 hydrogens. Here the number what we are writing 2, that belongs to Na, O and H. That's why here 2 hydrogens there, 2 hydrogens there. 2 plus 2, 4. Here only 2. Clear? So again changed. Here sodium is balanced, oxygen becomes 2 here but it is 1. And now hydrogen becomes 2 into H as 2, and here 2 plus 2, 4, and here now 2 only. So to balance that, again we go for now NaOH plus H2SO4 gives rise Na2SO4 plus 2H2O. So I kept here 2 coefficient. So then check again. Here how many hydrogens here? 2 plus 2, here 4. Now 2 into 2, 4. Hydrogen balanced. Oxygen how many here? 2. Now here 2. So that's why now this is a balanced equation. It is now balanced equation. So children, so again now here we have to check step 4. What's that? Is there any common factor in the compounds? Then if it is there, we have to divide with the common factor and we have to reduce the coefficients to the minimum. But here there is no common factor. And now next what do you go for? 5th one, final step. What is that? We have to check again elements on both sides equal or not. That is the step 5. So I am writing here, already element is there. So element sodium, how many here now? 2 Na, here 2. So here now Na is the same element here, 2 balanced. And next oxygen 2 oxygen here 2 balanced. And hydrogen 2 to 4 balanced. Next one, sulfate is what? SO4 1. So we have to check like that. Na is 2 SO4 is 1 and H is 4 and O is 2. So then now equation is going to be balanced. So this is the balanced equation. So children, this is about the balancing of a chemical equation. So in balancing of chemical equation, we have some steps there. 5 steps you have to remind. The first thing is what? We have to write the chemical equation of the reaction with the correct chemical formulas. That is the first one. And second one is what? We have to check the equation is balanced or not by comparing the elements on both sides. Step 2. And step 3 is what? Balancing the equation. And step 4 is what? So in step 3, how we can balance that? By keeping some suitable coefficients in front of the compounds. We have to balance the equation. And step 4 is what? Is there any common factor? We have to reduce the coefficient to the minimum level. And fifth one is what? Again we have to check the number of elements on both sides should be equal or not. So if they are all equal, then equation is said to be balanced. These 5 steps are involved in the chemical balancing equation. And so you have to keep it in mind. 2 points here. The first thing is the number of elements on the both sides should be same. First point. And second point is we never disturb the subscripts. We never change the subscripts in the chemical balancing equations, because if you can change the subscript, the compound will be changes. So just by writing the coefficients for the compounds only, we have to balance the equation. We never change the subscripts. Okay children, I hope all of you understand the balancing of chemical equations. So children, like the video and share the video. Up to now, if you don't subscribe my channel, please subscribe. And if you want more videos from me, just you support by subscribing my channel. Thank you. We will meet in the next video.